Hey, in this video, if you're looking for a job or if you're looking for a career and you got an interview that's about to happen, did you know that most candidates fail in their first interview? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to increase your odds so you can land the job, get the position you want at the salary that you're looking for. So make sure you watch this video properly. Even take some notes and watch it 2 or 3 times because I'll guarantee you that this will increase your odds, stack the deck so you get the job that you want. So let's dive into my office. I'll see you on the inside.
All right, welcome. We are ready for this great video. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn how to master your job interview and land your desired job. All right, so this is coming to you from 20 years of experience, not just from ChatGPT, but myself personally in helping people land the position that they want. So first of all, some of these things you're going to know already, but I'm going to put my allyism into it so that way you can get the flavor of why you're going to be more successful. Some things you probably will never even heard of. You're going to sound weird, but I will tell you that when you are done with this video, your chances, we're going to stack the deck to get that job that you want. So first things first, let's look at the screen. Dress for success. Now, first impressions matter the most. So one of the things you have to look at is the type of job you're trying to get acquired. Let's say if it's for a construction or a plumber or something that's more not like a suit environment, you want to dress that part, right? Can you imagine if you wanted to become, let's say, a garbage man, right? You wouldn't go dressed in a three-piece suit, right? You'd have to, but dress nice though. You got it, a nice shirt, something like what I'm wearing perhaps, something that would show that you are a somewhat successful person. So dress the part of the business. Look at what the employees are dressed like first. So you can do that through the websites these days. I mean, there's so many ways to figure that part out, right? And get comfortable in that dress. Don't want to be in a dress, let's say you never wore a suit before and you kind of wore it the first time and you look awkwardly. Get comfortable in it. Feel the dress as if it's a natural part of your skin. Research the company. This is big. All right, and this is where I'll tell you that with the power of the internet, it's so easy now to research the company, but you know that everybody else is doing it too. So what is going to hold you standing out different than anybody else, right? And I'll tell you, it's this, is that when you look at the company's website or any information you have about them, you want to capture that, print it, take it with you in the interview. I'll tell you why. Because when you're starting the interview and you have in your folder their website, print it out in your folder and you put that on their desk saying, hey, by the way, I was researching your company, I love your website, or make a comment about it, anything that would give them an impression that you spend time researching their company. If I was an employer and you spend time looking at what I do, everything, and know more about me, I'm going to be impressed. Okay, so research the company in a way where you're not just looking at it and just, yeah, I'm going to internalize it. Take printed matter from there. Print it out the website, take it with you, and really read through this, all right? And what you're going to find out is when you take that information, you're going to know a lot more about the business. And I can get into specifics when you're looking at the website. Some of the things you want to look at is in the website, not just their home page, but who their people are. Who's the team leaders? Who's the owner of the company? Who are the executives, the managers? Learn about them. Read through that a little bit, okay? And this is going to help you. And the big one here is their product line. If there's a service or whatever they're selling in their website, look at them. If they have multiple locations, all right? Find out about saying, hey, which of your locations are the most profitable? Which ones are growing? Get to know that. Act as if you already work there. Hello, I just said something very exciting. Act as if you already have worked there, what it would feel like. Because this kind of message is subconsciously you're sending out there. You're comfortable in that job already. This is what those vibes are coming across to that interviewer, okay? So this is very important, is researching the company very, very extensively to the point you're almost like an FBI agent. Okay, and as I would go as far as, if you really want to work for that company, is go drive to that location before the interview and look at it, drive around it, see if there's something you can spot. I'll give you an example. I actually got a contract in consulting by doing this. Before the interview, I actually went there and I found out, and I was just kind of looking around, and as I went into the company, I saw in there, in those days, the internet wasn't as popular, so people had magazines and in the vestibule. So, and what happened is that when I walked in, I saw in the magazine, it says, why you should hire an outside consultant. That was the title of the topic of the magazine. Okay, and I think it was a business magazine, whatever it was. So I took that magazine and I walked in when I started the interview, marketing and selling and consulting, and he says, "Hey, what is this all about?" I took that magazine. I said, "This is your magazine, by the way. You're prescribed to this." I put it on his desk. And I said, "Look what the title says." And he read it. He says, "Why I should hire outside consultant." I said, "That's what this is about. You pay for this magazine, and this is what I'm here to talk to you about. Why you should hire an outside consulting firm." That's because of me being observant. I researched the company. I looked at what's in the vestibule before you even go in. This is your research doesn't stop when you just walk. When you have done it on the internet, it continues as you walk into the door. So keep observing that. Look at the plaques. Look at something that you see in there. Find out about it, and maybe even in today's world, you can even take a picture of it. Something you see in there that would help you in the interview. For example, on their plaque, they might have, "We're always looking for people that are honest or empathetic," or whatever trait you can see in there, match it. And what I did is I found out that this guy pays a subscription to the magazine, and he is paying money for this, and I'm going to use that to my advantage to help them. And guess what? Got the deal. So that's very important. Visit social pages. As you can see here, you can see that this is very important. And the classic one is getting to know the owner if you can, right? If you can find them on the social media and find out, maybe on LinkedIn, a little bit about them and what they actually do. The deeper you are about them and what you know, your chances of landing that job is very, very powerful. Choose neutral and pop-up colors. So this is being dressed, right? Bold accent. You don't want to come in with a flashy, like bright yellow tie or something, or purple. Neutral colors like gray, navy, beige, those type of things. Polish, looking good, and obviously you want to have a good posture. This is very important. You notice the way I'm sitting, okay? Shoulders down, chest out, chin up. You want to have that posture going in. You'd be surprised how many people walk in the door and the body language, those vibes go across, and it's just not there, right? Walking fast is a sign of success. When you're walking too casually or too slow, it's a sign of weakness. So you don't have to go run in there, okay? Don't go crazy like that and do leaps in there, right? So you want to walk in with a good brisk pace. This is also telling them about your body language. Very important. Grooming and comfort. Look at this. Look the part. Don't overdo this. Like, don't be super slick, getting all greased up and super like shiny and everything. Just be natural, but be comfortable in the way you groom. So look as if you were going to a wedding. Think about it. Just imagine if you were going to go to a wedding. How would you look, right? That's a good way to tell about it. Ensure your hairstyle is proper, and you don't have to go crazy and be overly like spending $200 on a hairstyle, right? Get comfortable. Ensure you sit and stand and move comfortably. That's what I was just mentioning. And one of the ways, if you have trouble, if you're slouching, I'll give you a little trick. You take, and this is somebody's going to have to do with this. Take your family member or somebody, and take your shirt off, okay, and put tape on the back, right, just below your neck, below the hairline, so nobody can see it, and on one of those tapes, the transparent tapes, and stick it and make it go all the way down. This will hold your spine up like that. You'll never be like this. And you'll see automatically, if you have trouble, that is, if you have a slouch shoulder, you'll automatically have a good posture. And you're going to feel better. And eventually, you're going to see that it's going to help your attitude and your mindset. Okay, preparation is the key weapon, as we talked about researching companies, and this is ChatGPT telling me this stuff that I already know, which is good, which is cool. Okay, now one of the things you want to do is look at the company's forecast, where they want to take this company. This is very powerful. When you walk in the door, you already know what the company's goals are. If you can figure that out, where they want to go, you can bring that up and say questions like this. Hey, Mr. Interviewer, let me ask you, just suppose, I get hired and I put your company in a position where you're now growing at a 20% growth rate, and the company now is doing so much more volume than today. How would that make you feel? That's an emotional question. It puts them in a very interesting position. They're thinking that you have that much confidence that you're going to put our company in a growth pattern of at least 20%, or whatever the case may be, or having five new locations. Let's say you help them go there, or to help them increase their productivity. Whatever the goal is, say, Mr. Klein, how would that make you feel if I was to come in and you, let's say you hired me, and your now company 6 months later is doing this much, or it helps us achieve your goal? How would that impact you in your position? That person sitting in front of you is going to feel important. Think about it. You're putting them in a position of success already with your expertise. That's very powerful. Understanding competition. Now, this is very important also. You say, you know what, I understand that you have competitors, and I understand your market share is, what I've read so far, is about 20%, and you'd like to get it to about 30%. Is that right? They're going to say, well, this guy, man, he's already done his research. Yeah, I say, well, can I ask you a question? And you can become now the interviewer in that process. Say, can I ask you, you have some really good competitive advantages, right? But you still have a lot of competition, right? If I was to come in and work for you, this is what I could do for you to make sure that you're even more competitive. This is the competitive advantages that I see that might be able to help you to reach a bigger market share. Wouldn't that be exciting, right? So when you come across with that much confidence that you know how you can take this company to that next level, or improve its operations in whatever area of their business they're looking for, or the position they're looking to have that skill set. Understanding the job description. This is key. Most companies have a job description of the task that they're looking for. Align your resume to that skill. We have just a standard resume. We go out, well, you got to align your resume to fit the skill sets that they're looking for. You can do that through ChatGPT. Take their skill set that they're looking for, or responsibilities, and saying, hey, Chat, make my resume align with what they're looking for, so that way my chances of landing the job go much higher. And ChatGPT will give you a resume that will align to what they're looking for. Key point. Most people don't even know that. Practice common interview questions. This is good. Utilize the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. So look at their situation, what tasks are needed, what actions have to be created to get the results. Okay. Practice not just what to say, but how to structure your responses effectively. Now, this is it takes practice to do this, but if you practice some interviews with your spouse or somebody you know of that's a friend, saying, hey, ask me these questions and respond. For example, they might say, tell me about the time you faced when you had a tough situation in your previous job. How did you handle it? Answer that question before you go in. Practice it. How does it come across? Tell them, well, this is what happened. This is what I had to do. I'll give you an example. It happened to me when they asked me, a time when you had a tough situation? I'll tell you, Mr. Then this is what I said. They sent me one of the clients that was very irate, that wanted to cancel the contract. And they asked me, hey, take that call. So guess what I did? I took the call, but just before I took the call, I looked at their file. And in those days, we didn't have the high-tech computer, but I had their file, and I saw that what the client wanted, why the client said yes to us, not why is he trying to cancel. This is a very powerful statement I'm giving you, because if you put yourself in this position of why somebody agreed to you in the first place and now they want to cancel, right? That happens. And I told them, well, the minute I took out the phone, I said, you know what, Mr. Klein, I'm so glad that you called us today. And they were like shocked. Why would I be glad? And they're trying to cancel the appointment or to cancel the contract. I said, because you mentioned in your file here that you wanted to expand your business, and somehow you don't believe that we can do the job. I read him like a book. He goes, exactly. And I went into it, and like a long story short, we saved the contract. So you want to understand the client's situation. Very important. Conduct practice interviews with friends and mentors. I just mentioned that. Nailing the interview. Time to shine, right? Okay. Arriving early. Now, Vince Lombardi, for those of you who don't know him, he was one of the best coaches in the NFL for Green Bay Packers. And he said, if you showed up on time, you're already 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late. Think about it. So it's very important to have that happen. I will continue on the next call.